I'm 15 and I've already come close to death, which is not a good thing. Let me tell you the story about the sketchy guy I met when I was 14. Okay, so I was hiking on the Pacific Crest Trail, which is a trail from Mexico to Canada. And I was actually hiking it alone. So, it took a long time to convince my parents to let me do that. It was a crazy adventure. I have a documentary on it that I made. You can go watch that if you're interested in that. But today I'm going to be telling you a story about a sketchy hiker I met on that trail. So after a long, hot, sunny day, the sun was beating down. It was really hot. I was really tired. I was arriving to camp late, and I was arriving to camp. I was at mile 653.3. It was May 18th. And I arrived in the camp, and I saw some other hikers there. I started to get to know them. And there's this one hiker who had some interesting stuff. At first, he seemed like a nice guy, so I was chatting with him. And then he pulled out some drugs from his backpack and started giving it to some other hikers who were taking it. And I didn't feel comfortable around this. I was 14. I was by myself. Like, I didn't want to be around that. And then he came over to me and said, "Can I hike with you?" Since he was like, "Maybe we can hike together. We'll be fun in group. I can teach you some things about using your ice axe for the Sierra section coming up, which was going to be like a mountain section." And I'm like, "No, thank you." I was like really sketched out about this. That night I was frantically looking for some people. I found this amazing couple that I actually ended up hiking with later. And I camped with them right next to them, and I ate dinner with them and got to know them well. And it was a lot of fun, but I was really scared, and I had this nagging feeling in the back of my head. I was like, what is this guy? And like, what's going to happen? So the next morning, I got up early, and I was like really scared, and I didn't want to set out alone, but I ended up doing it because I wanted to get as far away from this guy as I could. So I just pushed hard that entire day, and I was able to cover a lot of ground, like almost 30 miles. It was also a lot of elevation since we were getting near to the Sierra Mountains, so we were climbing a lot up and down, like over 4,000 feet that day. And I pushed, and I arrived like after dark into a camp with another amazing hiker there. Her name was Butt Bee, because she had sat on a bee. And so I camped with her there, and I ate with her, and I knew I was far ahead of that guy, which I had really wanted to be, and I just did not want to be close to him or associated with him, or like, I just didn't want to be alone next to him. So then I pushed hard the next few days, and arriving in the town, I found other group of great hikers to hike with, and so I set out with them so then I could say I had a group, so I don't need to join you. It was like a good excuse, and also it was safe, and also I wanted to hike with another group. And so that's how I avoided him. This guy was really sketchy. I forget his name, but I mean, he could have just been wanting to do good, but I did not believe that, and I didn't want anything bad to happen to me, and it just sketched me out, and I think I made the right decision. It's always like better safe than sorry. So I'm really glad I made that decision, and that's like the time I came really actually close to like something bad happening, which I'm really glad I avoided. And that's the only sketchy encounter I ever had on the PCT, or actually in my life really so far, with another person. I hope I don't have another like that again. And I would not be worried about this. I just want to tell you this as a story. I would just be cautionary when you're out about, but like, I would not be worrying about this. This is a rare incident, and I was able to avoid it. And so I just want to tell you this story so you can learn from it and hear about it. And yeah, so that's my sketchy encounter story. Go watch this amazing full story about my hike, the documentary I made right here, and hear about my entire amazing journey on the Pacific Crest Trail, going from Mexico to Canada. It was an epic adventure, something I'll never forget, so go watch it here.